Finally got my hands on one of the new Nexus 5s. This one's made by LG. Gonna take it apart and see what's inside. First of all, you need to take off the back of the phone. And generally speaking, the back's not supposed to come off, so you have to be a little persuasive about it. I separated the back with my fingernail and kind of used a pry tool to unlatch the little clasps that go around the back of the phone. And just kind of traced the pry tool, up and around and all the way down the other side. Little by little, working each clasp individually. And then as you move, I start at the top of the phone and move my way down. There's some glue that hold the bottom of the phone to the back case. You can kind of see it as I pry away there. And I'm just working it gently, trying not to bend the back too much, working my pry tool up in there. And it is finally off. Here you can see the back of the phone. And here are 6 screws around the top of the phone we're going to take apart. You can see in my little diagram there. And now the black plastic is going to come off the top of the phone, and this exposes the motherboard to us. So you can see the camera, all the different wire cables. There's 4 screws down at the bottom as well. So I'm going to take those out, and then the bottom bracket will pop up and off away from the phone. Just use my little pry tool to get it away. The charging port on this phone is removable and replaceable, which is really nice. This is the speaker for the phone, by the way. It comes off with the black back on it. And so the charging port's connected up here on the main board. So I'm going to unlatch that. It's kind of nice to see a different carrier besides Samsung make their charging ports replaceable. This is a little wire cable along the outside as well. Be super careful when you're lifting this up. I kind of lifted it up around the base of the head of the wire cable so it wouldn't bend or break the head of it. And there's another ribbon cable latch right there, kind of like Legos, just unsnapped it. To replace the battery, you just lift up at the bottom, and then there's another little ribbon cable that attaches to the motherboard. Super simple. I'll place any parts that I find either on Amazon or E-Trade Supply down in the video description below. Replacement parts, so if you ever need to buy a new battery or a new charging port, you can find them down there. There's another wire cable on the other side attached to the motherboard, and this disconnects the charging port from the main board itself. And so now I'm going to pry it away. And like I was saying, usually Samsung is the only one who makes their charging ports replaceable. So it's nice to see other companies like LG branching out into that, because the first thing that usually breaks on a phone is the charging port. And Samsung's charging ports are all around, 10 or 15 bucks. So it makes it super repairable, especially for the end user. Now it is up and away from the phone, and if you're just replacing your charging port, that's all you got to do. Grab your new one, place it in, latch it down, and you're good to go. Right here, there's another ribbon cable up along the top of the phone. I'm going to unlatch that. And then there's another one right here by the camera. There's not very many ribbon cables on this phone. That completely detaches the motherboard away from the phone itself. So I'm going to wiggle that up and off around the camera. The ribbon cable got caught on the main board there. And we are free. So that's the main board. And here is the earpiece, also very replaceable. Just pop it up and out. So if your speaker goes out, it's super easy to replace it and grab another one. It's kind of like a little Lego piece. If you can play with Legos, you can operate on a phone. Pop it back into place. Also, the headphone jack is very replaceable. Pops up and out away from the phone. You can see all the little connectors right there that touch the jack of your earphones when you plug them in, and then they will all feed up to the main board as well. Camera also pops up and out, so if you need to replace your camera, super simple. Once again, if you need any replacement parts that I haven't listed, just send me an email or just leave a comment in the comments below and I will get that to you. This is the screen right here, so if you need to replace the screen, it comes apart as a whole unit. This video, I'm not showing you how to take apart the glass of the screen, mostly because the success rate of that is super low. So I would highly recommend just replacing the whole screen as a unit, the glass and the LED. Putting the phone back together, got the motherboard slipped down over the ribbon cables, making sure that the ribbon cables are on the top side of the motherboard and not pinched down underneath. Latch them both on, just like the little Legos I was talking about before. Grabbing the charging port. Laying down that into place in the same spot it was before. There's little guidelines along the plastic of the phone as well that guide and make sure all the ribbon cables are in the same spot that they came out of. So it's pretty simple. You're not going to misplace something. Especially like these little wire cables have grooves that they sit down inside, so they sit exactly like it was when it was manufactured. Now you only have one chance at this. These little wire cables, they do bend really easily, the heads of them. So you want to make sure that it is directly on top of the port that it plugs into before you apply too much pressure. Because if you do break one, then you're just out of luck and you got to buy another cable. So be super careful. Line it up, press it down, get the battery back in there, clip it into place as well. Latch the charging port, ribbon cable into place. And the bottom bracket, which also includes the loudspeaker. You can get the screws back into place, all four of those ones. Here's the diagram again. Same thing with the top. You're going to want to get all of the 6 screws back into place as well. Once again, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. I usually respond pretty quickly. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the phone. It's very well built in my mind compared to the Samsung. I think it's very similar to how Samsung has done with their phones with the Galaxy S series, the 3, the 4, and the Notes. There will be a series of satisfying clicks as you pinch shut the back around the outside of the phone. And once again, if you need any replacement parts, let me know. I will link what I have down in the video description below. And that is it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also hit me up on Google+, Twitter at Zach's Jerry Rig, and also Facebook, Jerry Rig Everything. Hope to see you around. Thanks.